paper magic will survive like the heat death of the universe and will...
Oh, it's a smuggler's copter. Would you like to crew this? And then it crashes because they don't understand arithmetic.
All your cards belong to me.
2 minutes into macing him in the eyeballs, I switched to pepper spray. He's like, it's downright refreshing. And went back to the mace.
Magic is dying, I'm done. Selling everything.
I might be a hoarder. And yes,
I don't have the crayons or glue to explain this to you right now.
What, are you gonna die twice?
Oil will be worthless before magic cards will.
Well, okay, Dr. Man.
That's Mr. Dr. Professor Jason.
Hello, everybody. Welcome into Brainstorm Brewery, the show that proudly has never ruined a alpha card that was inside a PSA 9 sleeve. Did you all see this video going around the internet?
What are you talking about?
Okay, Grandpa.
There was the owner of, I believe it is GGG Games, the company that makes Path of Exile, right? Obviously, hugely popular.
Chris Wilson.
Yes. He shared his Magic collection.
Yes.
Quote, only the good stuff, recently, and the video went very viral because he's just flipping through a binder, just a normal 9-row binder, and it's just like, there's 9 black bordered lotuses, there's 24 something else, like, and it's just this thing that like keeps blowing you away every time you look at it. But as a part of this, he also had a video of what he would do to take the cards out of the slab when he got one slabbed that he didn't want to keep slabbed. And he gets the screwdriver, he breaks the corner of it, then you get the screwdriver and pop off the top, right? He says, I've done this with thousands of cards. He said, only one time have I ever messed it up. And he shows a picture of it. And indeed, it is that screwdriver eating an Alpha Magic card alive that was seconds ago inside a PSA slab.
Also,
that's the Magic internet this week. It's happy, it's fun, it's like actually a nice piece of viral content that doesn't make you feel horribly sad inside. Just kind of sad.
For those listening to the podcast, we apologize for Corbin's voice. It just sounds like this now. That's just one of the, like, when you just turn a certain age, that's just what happens. Like, it's not related to the user skill of the mic or the software or any fixable thing that he could have prepared for like this. It's just how he sounds now.
Well, actually, DJ, what happened was Corbin took one of those old Pee Wee Herman dolls with the talk boxes. He ate the talk box thinking to make him sound like Pee Wee Herman, but instead now he just sounds like shit all the time.
Well, you learn something new every day. If we do have audio problems, we will, of course, get them fixed.
I have the exclusive privilege to have sold Chris Wilson some of these pieces. I want to say 2013 or 2014. It was many years ago, back when a $3,000 near mint set of antiquities was like my whole bankroll. I found this set in the wild, and that was a lot of money to like 18 or 19-year-old-ish DJ, and I needed to quick flip it for a small amount of money, and a friend knew Chris, and so I reached out and had that deal happen. So some number of cards in those binders used to belong to me.
He is the perfect intersection of new money and genuine nerd shit.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
And
I didn't realize some of those.
Space.
I didn't realize those came from DJ. I didn't know we had a personal connection to that story.
I mean, it's a drop in the bucket, like a near mint candelabra, especially now where a near mint candelabra just had some problems with its valuation recently.
It did. Yes, it's had a rough go of it.
They're worth $5 now. They're worthless now. You can throw them in the trash.
I think that.
Advice.
Speaking of candelabras and other cards that are expensive because of scarcity, having done some deep dive on some Pokemon stuff recently, I just witnessed multiple Pokemon cards that last month were selling for $80 to $100. There were 5 of them on the internet, so someone bought them, and now they're $1,000. And I'm not going to lie, we've talked about this in previous weeks. I don't know if anyone's looked at the price of a Final Fantasy collector box recently, but we're getting there.
Yep.
It's happening everywhere. Like, if you don't want to sit and go twiddle your thumbs and go, I can't believe I missed the boat with Lord of the Rings, the boat is leaving the harbor on Final Fantasy.
Something I've noticed is there's some items in Magic that, like, the genuine scarcity of them comes from the fact that they're reserve lists. Some of them are just not many of them ever existed. One thing that really stuck with me recently is the price of a Chris Rush signed Brainstorm has effectively doubled in the last 6 months. You used to be able to get them for like $70 to $80 a piece, and now the cheapest listing on eBay is like 200 something. And it's just things that have low supply. It doesn't have to be some orchestrated cabal buyout. It's just like 3 people decide they want them, and guess what? They're gone.
And the number of returning players for a lot of that old stuff too is a big portion of what this matters. Like, we can make a little bell counter for every time this gets like, or a BSB streak for every time we go an episode mentioning this. But like, the number of returning players from specifically, but not exclusively, Avatar and Final Fantasy over the past 12 months is a lot. And like, these players are nibbling at the hull of the great ship that is the current supply of Magic the Gathering. It's a good analogy. Don't.
I liked it. I liked it. It was. I was picturing little rats nibbling at a hole. It was great. It was vivid.
Yeah. So maybe you are the Barnacle player. Maybe you are the Barnacle is the answer to that. I don't know, but like. I'm pricing stuff for shows, and it's all so expensive, and there's data to support it, so we're gonna see how that goes.
The number of Magic cards that I'm pricing for a show where in my head I'm like, this is gonna be $25, and it's just like 40. And like 40 is the bargain number.
Yeah.
Blows my mind.
Had somebody asking about like, hey, what's your price on a set of fetches? And it's this, and it's like, they're like so mad at they've got mad at like a couple other things that were not the reason, and it's like, well, that's
when you start talking to people about how their Temple Gardens or whatever are $6 or $7 now. Like, it's just
yeah, it's absurd.
It hits a real segment of players really hard, like the people who came in during peak modern Magic in the mid-aughts have gotten absolutely obliterated if they didn't touch their cards for 10 years.
Yeah.
One of my favorite things to talk about is how I traded for my initial playset of Tarmogoyfs at like $1,000 for the playset, maybe a little bit over that. But at the same time, I was trading $90 hallowed fountains towards it. So, you know, time makes fools of us all.
That is a good point.
Equally.
Yeah, that is a good point, Liz. Because, I mean, in general, I think the inflation point is under discussed in Magic when we start talking about this is the lowest level example, but there are 2 things where I see it most often. It's the price of a booster pack and the price of a deck in Standard, right? And the price of a booster pack, Universes Beyond notwithstanding, has not even kept up with inflation.
Or
if
a box,
depending on where you draw.
More common because it's like a 100. Like back in my day, this was $100, and now it's like 120, and it's like, yeah, man.
You get less in them now too.
Boxes are also more than 120 is the thing, but like even then, it still is.
The shrinkflation came to Magic. I do remember in the 2018, 2019 era where we were at that if you start charging more than $100 a booster box, it's sort of like, taboo's not the right word, but like that was still the line. You know, like could you get $100 booster box at a store or whatever? And now obviously we live in a different world, but people they look at standard decks and they go, this standard deck costs $600 in 2011. And Standard today costs $600. Nothing's better. And it's like,
Also, looking at the MTG Goldfish listings, a website where prices are notoriously a little bit inflated.
Yeah.
The most expensive Standard deck I'm seeing here is $572, with the top 6 decks being like 280, 331, 357, 252.
Yeah, it's like, much more reasonable than it used to be.
It's cheaper, and we factor in inflation, like...
Yeah, and you factor in the fact that, and I don't want to get too into the weeds here, but I was talking to people this about my LGS, because we're all literally, truly building Standard paper decks, and we've been playing Standard, and I don't have Cavern of Souls. I don't happen to have 2 extra Cavern of Souls for my Jank Standard deck. I have Cavern of Souls, there are in other decks, like... whatever. And it's just kind of like, you're not at the Pro Tour. You can play F&M without Cavern of Souls in your deck. That kind of thing. So then when you start, like, you don't have to have the mana base that costs $200. You can have the $100 mana base. And yes, it'll be worse. But everyone is at that level because there is more to Magic than just playing 100% optimized at the Pro Tour. You can actually just play at F&M for fun and still compete. So anyway, I'm not telling people you can't build the best decks, but just to say, Standard is more affordable now than it has been in quite some time. And with a 3-year rotation, theoretically, you can play your decks and your cards for longer. Now, I fully empathize with somebody who gets in, and I don't know the best example, but someone who gets in a year from now who needs to buy Wan Shi Tongs and Badgermole Cubs and Quantum Riddlers when they're $35 to $50 and they're going to rotate in 6 months, but they're still that good. That is a little hole in say that is where the pain point is in Standard. I think it's pretty easy when the card's new to say, yes, it's expensive, but invest in it, it'll be good for 3 years. It's harder for the newer players coming in.
Let me ask you this question though, Corbin. How much do you think Badgermole Cub goes down in price when it rotates? How much do you think Quantum Riddler goes down when it rotates?
So Quantum Riddler, I think, let me double check this here, courtesy of course, MTG Ban, our sponsor. But I believe Quantum Riddler is about $35 at the moment.
You're not too far
it's
off
about,
either way, yeah.
Yeah, it's about $35 right now. And its peak, it was $40. My guess is that card is always going to be 15 to 20 without reprints. So I think that there's some amount it can go down. The card is good in other formats. The problem is they print new Quantum Riddlers every year, and the Quantum Riddlers of 3 years ago may or may not.
I feel like Quantum Riddler specifically is a really weird example.
Why? Go ahead. Why?
Because if you do look at MTG Ban and you do assume that the card is worth like $20 to $30 based on TCG player prices, you can also see that Card Kingdom pays like $1 million on this card constantly.
Yeah.
Like TCG low is 24, market is 30, Card Kingdom will pay you 36, Strike Zone will pay you 30, Star City will pay you 28. All three of those numbers are over retail.
They won't right before they rotate though.
But Corbin, I think the thing you're missing is the card will be more expensive as supply on it dwindles because like when the card is 3 years old, no one's going to be opening EOE anymore. And obviously all the Standard players are going to sell theirs when it rotates, but how many Standard players really are there who own Quantum Riddlers? How much supply can the Modern format absorb? The card's a legacy staple, right? Like, it's in one of the best legacy decks right now. I think cards like Badgermole Cub and Wan Shi Tong and Quantum Riddler don't really see a price deflation when they rotate. Maybe they see a little bit of a dip and there's a chance to buy in. But, like, long term, it's really hard for me to print green 2-drops better than Badgermole Cub for at least a couple years.
I also feel, and this is entirely vibes-based, not data-based at all, I feel like the concept of selling out of Standard for rotation does not exist anymore.
Well, that's because they juiced power creep to the point that the newest cards are the best cards.
Well, like, it's that, and also, like, I feel like I don't want to call it hustle culture, but, like, the churn culture of Standard players to, like, I don't know. I feel like it's so hard to, like, migrate cards through that ecosystem nowadays as a Standard, like, chunk. Like, these are my Standard cards, these are the ones that are rotating, like, sell these. It's not like a yearly, like, celebrate. It's not like a holiday anymore where it's like, oh yeah, seasonal, like Spirit Halloween levels of like, oh yeah, this month came, now it happens. Like, it's so much more integrated in just, like, the wider ecosystem of each individual card, I feel like.
Yeah.
Again, entirely vibes-based, but, like, back in 2015, 2016 or whatever, you had players who were... You had the collections of, oh yeah, I'm selling off all my Standard stuff to the vendor. That has not happened for me in a long time. Like,
there used to be a real cliff, right? And that's because the way the majority of the game interacted with the game was playing Standard. So,
like, I imagine a lot of these Quantum Riddlers just go into collections and either sit for a longer period of time. They go into Commander decks, even if it's not a sub-opt, or even if it's not an optimized Commander card. They go into whatever box or pile or binder, and they just I feel like they tend to sit there for longer. Again, entirely just how I interact with the ecosystem of, like, I just don't see that transaction anymore.
I also think that the standard grinder who cares about eking out a ton of value doesn't quite exist as much anymore. Like,
Yeah.
At every single standard RC and Spotlight, a bunch of people buy a deck from me and then right after the tournament sell it.
Yep.
Yeah. It's because in-store play has been taken over by Commander for all the reasons. I mean,
Yep.
that's what a lot of people say. Even if you want to play, it is hard to not be a Commander player, basically.
Yep.
Here's an example. I'm trying to go back to some older sets here, and we can... the problem is I'm sure we can basically quibble with almost any particular card here. But I'm going to look at Agatha's Soul Cauldron. That is a rotated or about to rotate set, Wilds of Eldraine. It's been through a real lifetime, right, of ebbs and flows and good in Modern and good in Standard and blah, blah, blah. At its peak, Agatha's Soul Cauldron was $45 to $50. Mm-hmm. It's currently $37, to Liz's point. Vivi got banned. No one's playing Vivi Cauldron. And the card is still essentially as expensive as it's been.
Yes.
37. I just priced one this morning. Look at that. No, the card's a Modern card. The card's a Legacy card. The card's a Commander card.
Yep.
Yeah, and
every
even though
card
it's-
is designed for
it's
more
less-
than 2 formats.
I think it's a good example because Yawgmoth with Cauldron was a big deal in Modern for a while, and whether it's I'm not commenting on its power level in the format today, but it's certainly not the top dog like, oh, this is expensive because of Yawgmoth, you know? It's just the generically good card, similar to, say, Quantum Riddler or Badger Molepug.
Yep.
So yeah, I think that's good discussion all around. And as we head into the Modern Pro Tour, that's kind of what's on tap. I'm headed out to Europe next week. We are going to have... This is where things get interested at the Pro Tour. Interesting. It's limited in Modern, as you know. It's the first Modern since we had EOE last year. And the top 8, it will be entirely draft. All limited top 8.
True. That's cool.
No, yes. It is the first one, and I'd have to pull out the notes and find out, but it is the first one in a long time. A very long time. So we're kind of on a sweet little run. We had the first team event since 2019. Now we're having the first limited top 8 in however long. Next year, we're going to have the limited championship. We've seen big numbers like in Toronto for the limited spotlight. I think Vegas actually had good numbers. I know people are kind of hit or miss on that, but I think for all the factors, the Vegas actually had good numbers at almost 1,000 people. I think the limited events are kind of coming
Vegas
back in
had
vogue.
more players than I expected. Yeah. And the reason for that was because it wasn't so much a team event for Marvel Spotlight. It was a team event for the old heads who could afford to fly out to Vegas for the weekend without
Correct.
sacrificing their financial security.
Correct. That's exactly the conclusion I came to, that when you look at flights, and some people got into arguments about flights because, oh, you can technically have the worst flight in the world for $300. And it's like, okay, but most like adults just book the $500-$600 flight so that they're not wrecked by the time they actually get to the tournament to compete. And so when you get to the end of it, it's Las Vegas. It's lodging. Like, even if you go cheap on all of these things, you're probably looking at like a minimum of $700.
The event specifically was not at the Westgate, which is the historically budget-friendly attached hotel/resort.
Yeah, we were at the World Market Center, the secondary location in Vegas.
Let me ask you a question about this then. Every single Riftbound event thus far has been at the most expensive venue in its city. They're all in expensive cities, but they're nice. The Pro Tours in Amsterdam, every single person I know who queued for the PT is just like, yeah, I'm going to sell both my PT promos that I'm getting, and it's going to cover my flight and my hotel, and like that's kind of it. And like, maybe Magic should just have events in nicer cities, and it should be more expensive to go to, and people should go to fewer events.
I feel like that's what it used to be, right? Like
Do you want your events to be in?
They used to foot the tickets to them, DJ. That's the difference.
I know.
They used to literally book the plane tickets.
But what I'm saying is, like, for your spotlights and stuff, there's this
Yeah.
one city in, like, nowhere, Illinois or something, that they keep hosting Pokemon tournaments at that's like a meme, and it sucks to get to, but it's cheap. But, like, no one likes those events. They have worse attendance. Meanwhile, they host one in, like, San Diego in, like, the downtown, and it pops off and they get 4,000 attendees.
Yeah, I know somebody who went to that specific Pokemon event recently, and I believe the bathrooms didn't work.
Oh, no.
Yeah, there's just a bunch of really crappy...
I don't know if it was that event specifically, but it was one recently.
I will say that the play the game, see the world tagline that has been much... While it
Memed about, yeah.
It has been much memed about. The fact of the matter is it's still actually true if you get out of a little United States-centric bubble. There actually are a lot of people across the world who are afforded the opportunity to go see the world because of the Pro Tour. But it is true that, yes, you get your shows in Atlanta, Vegas, and we don't get, we're... In the mid-2000s, we had a run where we were, like, at PAX and stuff, and we would go to... We'd have, like, small field worlds at historic... venue. Like, you can do lots of stuff, but
I mean, how many times have you been to Hawaii, Corbin?
A handful, yeah.
I gotta say, Corbin...
But, like, that's what I mean, man. If you live somewhere else... Sorry, go ahead, Liz.
Corbin, you and I were both there. The closed venue worlds being in Bellevue, Washington, where you can have beautiful views of another skyscraper with nobody in it because rent's too high. Or you can go to the biggest attraction in Bellevue, Washington, which is more anti-homeless architecture benches.
Yeah.
I'm anti-Bellevue, spiritually. But
Well,
like,
the thing is, like DJ's like, we're going to Hawaii again. Ugh. But like,
that wasn't a
someone
complaint. No. Like, that was not a like. That was a before times compliment of like, this is how it used to be.
I'm
like,
with you. I understand. I got you. You say we have been to Hawaii a lot, and it's because it's one of those cool places, right? And that is an incredibly cool experience. But like, Seattle's not the worst experience. Like Seattle, Atlanta. I mean, if you live in Argentina or Chile, like that's as exotic as Montana. Like, I don't know. Like, so like, I don't want to meme on it too hard is I guess basically all I'm getting at.
Corbin
With that
just
said,
skewering our Montana listenership. Like,
Montana is one of the most beautiful places in the entire world.
Oh, yeah,
that's actually what I was getting at. Yeah, was that
so
they're
like,
not
first of
getting
all, jot that down. God's splendor is triumphant over all.
I've been to Glacial National Park in Montana. It's legit very cool. I saw a moose there. That was my point, though. It's like they're getting the downtown of Atlanta, right? The inner workings of a city hub, not beautiful expanse of America or whatever. Like you say, even in Hawaii, you might get some of those views. All of that said, I actually agree that I really think that the Pro Tours, at the very minimum, Worlds should be in one of those premier destinations. The issue is that it really does run headlong into the fact of you have people complaining about prize pools and everything, and all of it's a result of there's not more money in the system, and that also affects where the events get held. Sorry.
Yeah.
Like,
but it's
and it's more expensive to travel to Japan than it is, like, not even talking about the costs to the hosts, but like, it's more expensive to fly to Japan than it is to fly to Atlanta.
Honestly, man, it's probably cheaper to fly to Japan if you're Chinese than it is to fly to the U.S.
For sure.
Yep.
But like the
it's
majority
all
of the players are
relational. I don't know.
It's way more expensive to host an event in Japan, I'll tell you that. So also runs into...
I know that's right.
So anyway, yeah, I think you're right, though. Like, the idea is that Magic is in this weird spot where a lot of these other games that have big events have sort of a prestige model. There's not that many events, and you gotta be at them. They got the momentum going for them. They have all these things that Magic, as a 30-plus-year-old juggernaut, does not have. And, GPs got real cost-adjusted when they were running 45 of them a year.
Yeah. Meanwhile, I believe there's going to be 12 Riftbound regional qualifiers a year, 3 per set.
One a month?
Yeah, worldwide?
Worldwide, yeah.
That
I
makes...
believe there's going to be 12 each best of, as far as I know. And they go on for 4 set releases. So after like the 5th set and that set comes out, that card rotates out of being a best of. Which means there's 4 sets a year.
Mm-hmm.
Do the math.
Vis-a-vis, yeah.
And there's also, obviously, like, once they have 12 regional qualifiers, they also have to have regionals and then worlds or whatever. So there's more tournaments than that. But, like, for the everyman, the people who don't have to qualify for something, 12 tournaments a year, you go to the 5 that are in your nation, and maybe you go to 1 abroad. And, like, 6 tournaments a year is luxurious. Most people should not be traveling to 6 vacations a year.
Yeah, and we're still in this, we live in this weird spot where if you want, even now, you can go play in 20 Magic events a year between RCs and if you're like a Pro Tour level player and Spotlights, and then not even getting
SCGs.
into, like, yeah, if you actually just want to go play the SCG 5 or 10K. And so we talk about, like, the economics of this stuff. Like, we really do kind of end up back in this early to mid 2000s conversation of how much should Wizards be subsidizing this? And we had incredible amounts of pro levels, level 9 pros who are getting paid to register 40 basic lands at their draft. Like, literally, Kibler took his appearance fee to register 40 basic lands and then not be there when the stream called him in Vegas because he wanted to go to EDM. Like, that's fine, but that's what the
Honestly,
system was.
that's so beast mode. That's so beast mode.
It was awesome. Yeah, it was fucking great. He took, like, it was amazing. But I don't think it's like, you can see why Wizards decided that maybe those systems were not in the best interest of what they were trying to do here, right? Like, so when we talk about promo values and all of that stuff, it's just, you have to understand, if you are Wizards, there is another side to this.
I distinctly remember having a conversation with somebody at an SCG in, like, 2012, like, early SCG era, and they were like, yeah, I'm a level 6 SCG pro, which means that I show up to the event, my entry's covered, so I have to pay for, like, I pay $23 for my hotel room at a Night's Inn. My flight was an economy red-eye through Spirit, so it was like $61.
Yeah.
So I get to the event, I get my $100 appearance fee, I sell the sleeves, the deck box, and the playmat they give me. Once a quarter I get a hoodie, which I get to sell for $50. I mean, like, broke down the economy of it, and, like, they were playing for free. And so if I ever top 16 in an event, I'm up, and I'm like, so when did you go to, do you go to work anymore? It's like, well, I quit my job to do this. It's like, the math isn't mathing, but also, what else were you supposed to do in 2012? Like, I don't know, go to work? Fuck that.
But, like, I mean, yeah, like, we've just really been through and Magic in particular, can you be, and then is it worth it to be, and then should anyone be a professional at this?
Do you two, this might actually end up having to be after hours, depending on how the conversation goes. Do you remember the Chris Mascioli article about how chasing Planeswalker points ruined his life? The Dipple Sticks?
Yep.
Vaguely.
They chased the girl to Scotland.
It is one of the saddest pieces of writing I've ever read. And, like, not like in a haha, this person's life is sad way, but, like, truly in a, this system was designed to suck your soul and not in the fun way.
And what's crazy about Mascioli is that he basically set out to prove, he had the means to prove that this system was bad and then did so. Like,
yeah, I mean,
for those who don't know, the concept was cool. You can get points to qualify for, like, these pros that all have it better than you. Guess what? You can go to F&M and get qualifying points and use those for buys or whatever at tournaments coming up.
And you never
Friday
lose
Night
them. They
Magic.
number only ever go up. Number never go down.
Yep. So what they did then, so anyone could chase as many as they wanted. And some events that were larger and more competitive had multipliers. And what some people found out is that GP event side events, not the main event of the GP, but, like, the side events that were filled with the O2 rejects from the main event or whatever, those were still run at a 4x multiplier. And those were actually the best way to farm your Planeswalker points. So you had people traveling around the country going to then grind to the one little corner of events that were the most profitable, all because at the end of it, they wanted to say, I qualified for the Pro Tour. And while that is an incredible piece of marketing power on Wizards' behalf, it was not a healthy system for anyone.
and it's funny because it was a system designed to incentivize you to play as much Magic as possible in reaction to their system, where people would queue for the PT on points and then stop playing Magic.
Right.
But it turns out that it's better for people to not play Magic than for them to play Magic, and that's the moral of the story, is that playing Magic is wrong.
Well, we then into this conversation of, like, what is responsible of Wizards to ask of the players who are marketing their game most effectively? And it's just, obviously, we then had the MPL where we said, we're just going to pay them. No one can complain that they're not getting paid enough. We're going to pay them 6 figures a year to promote our game.
And then you have somebody lose a game for health insurance.
I watched Canister lose a match on stream to lose his job, and like, I don't know, man. That stream had a really bad vibe.
That's what I'm saying. Like, we went through this whole process.
What's the most that has ever been lost in a match of Magic? One of my friends recently lost a match of Riftbound for, if I had to guess, like 40k in equity, 50k in equity. That would break my brain a little bit. I've lost a match of Magic for like $7,000, and that broke my brain.
Yep.
Like, losing your 70 or 80k your job, whatever the MPL was, over a match of Magic, especially when you're someone who doesn't live in the US and that money is real money.
Yeah.
Like real big time money. I don't know. I feel like that's also not ethical. But also, is WotC's job to be ethical, or is any employer ever going to be ethical? These questions and more answered by your average
podcasters.
The answer, by the way, to that question in a general sense, I think is the Mythic Invitational. The original Mythic Invitational that Mingu won, that was best of one, absolute joke format filled with random streamers.
Honestly, though, Mingu is just a random streamer too. So like,
I say that it was a $125,000 match. He beat Canister.
Oh, poor Canister. Legitimately, one of the bright spots on the whole Magic streamer ecosystem is just this insane European dude who listens to the worst music you've ever heard, playing Amulet Titan. Like, every time there's a broken Modern deck, he wins the first challenge with it. He won the first Modern challenge with Nadu. And it wasn't hard, and the deck was built wrong.
It's always fun looking back at formats that start to have broken decks but aren't like materialized yet. Like looking at the people playing 2 to 3 Gataxian probes and stuff like that. It's
Bro, near the end of Gataxian Probe's lifespan and legacy, there was a really good SCG stream where P. Sully was just like, I think it was Kevin Jones. Kevin Jones is playing 2 Gataxian Probes in this deck. Like, 0, I can buy. 4, obviously, I can buy. 1, you're seasoning to taste. 3, you shaved one. But 2, that's a conscious choice to not play the broken card in the number that matters. Like, how do you get there? And he had like a 5-minute rant about this while, Kevin Jones got beat up on or whatever, but like...
That's funny.
right up there with your city is garbage in terms of P. Sully rants.
Yeah. The Chupacabra rant, also an all-timer. P. Sully, we should get him on this podcast. He would never do it, but we should get him on this podcast. It's time for the third best game on Brainstorm Brewery, Breaking Bulk.
Breaking Bulk time.
The game where we tell you which cards you should pick out of your bulk, and we try and stump each other in the process. I actually have a double header this week.
Ooh.
I have a Commander Legends Battle for Baldur's Gate colorless uncommon.
Decanter.
No.
That might be AFR.
Is it the Patriarch's Seal?
It's not the Patriarch's Seal.
I'm
gonna get y'all with this one. This one I only found
Dragon Orb of Carnelian.
No. So, fun fact for you, this card, despite me saying it's an uncommon, I actually discovered by looking at Pauper deck lists, has a reprint as a common.
Okay.
That's just my extra hint. Keep guessing.
But it's an uncommon. But it's in this set, it's an uncommon color.
Yeah, it's an artifact. Even I'll tell you. That's how much I think you're not going to get this. It's an artifact uncommon in Baldur's Gate, and then it's a artifact common in Commander Masters.
Am I gonna know it when you say it?
Maybe not. It's got a very generic name.
It's a bauble. It's an egg. Is it an egg?
It's not an egg. It's not a bauble. It looks like there's some soup in the artwork, potentially.
Is it a mutate card? I don't know anything about Pauper.
Nope. It's got some tents in the artwork.
I've given up.
Campfire?
It's literal campfire, yes.
That card is good in Pauper. I actually did know that.
1 mana for an
Nice.
artifact that says 1 tap, you gain 2 life, or 2 tap, exile Campfire, put all commanders you own from the command zone and from your graveyard into your hand, then shuffle your graveyard into your library.
Why is this good in Pauper?
It is a Felden's Cane that gains you life along the way.
Why is Felden's Cane good in Pauper?
I saw
Nobody
a Golgari control deck that was playing it. I don't know why it's good, but it was seeing play in Pauper. I assume this card's also somewhat playable in Commander. Both versions of it have a CK buy list over its TCG player low number.
I know that this card exists because I built a Commander deck a while back where the rule was every non-land card has to have the word Commander or Command in the rules text.
Yep.
Surprisingly legal number of cards for that deck, and it did play Campfire as a way to consistently get back your commander and play it for not like +7 commander tax or whatever. And yes, I said an odd number because the deck also played Myth Unbound, which says your commander taxes drop by 1.
Campfire also notably, is this a way to put Phage into your hand? Phage the Untouchable? Yeah?
Technically, yeah.
Yeah? My other breaking bulk this week, a little bit more reasonable, is a Modern Horizons 1 Black Common.
Defile?
Yeah, Defile. Another Pauper card. I've been looking at Pauper deck lists recently and noticing there are a number of cards that are just like, this card's $1.
Yeah.
What if they ran a Pauper Spotlight?
I think that event would be a disaster. How expensive is Utrom Monitor on site at that event? $100?
Good.
What are some of the really there's a handful, and I don't know them offhand, of like old black cards that are Tombstone Stairwell or something. Just like there are some absurd
Tombstone Stairwell is a reserved list pre-modern rare card.
Yeah, that's a pre-modern one. The point is
Existence.
there are yes. Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you.
Of course.
Pauper's a very silly format. But that card's actually Tortured Existence actually has a 6 secret lair printing. I just saw it for the first time. It's actually pretty cool.
The most expensive deck in Pauper, according to Goldfish Metagame Breakdown, was like some sort of Storm deck, because Lotus Petal is expensive.
Yeah.
But then it also played like Cabal Ritual and Dark Ritual.
Yeah, those are all
Cabal Ritual
money.
is $1 billion.
Yeah. God, Pyroblasts are expensive now too. Gut Shots are expensive. Magic cards are expensive. That's what I'm learning this week on our Breaking Bulk.
Did you know that foil Red Elemental Blast is the most expensive thing you could open in Masters 25?
That's pretty tough.
Including foil Jace the Mind Sculptor. Foil Red Elemental Blast is the most expensive card you can open by like a lot.
That's brutal.
If you go to ban and type in S:A25, it gives you all that information. Oh no, sorry. That's outdated news. Animar Soul of Elements is competing for the top spot. They are around the same price.
Good to know.
CK has a higher buy list on Red Elemental Blast, but TCG low is higher on Animar, so they're around the same price. But
Animar spiked with lore when Eclipsed for the Elemental tie-ins.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
All right, I have a red Urza's Saga common.
Meltdown.
No, I think that's an uncommon.
It's an uncommon.
Close guess.
Red common. Honestly, I have
There
no
are
idea.
21 cards to choose from. If I sort on ban by value,
Hey DJ, is this the Gears?
it is the Gears, Corbin. Good job. There are...
Hold up, I saw some stuff recently from this set.
There are 2
I've seen
possible
some
picks for this that fit the criteria.
Is
one of
it
them is
Goblin Matron?
Goblin Matron
Ooh, a
is one
Goblin.
of them. My pick
Yes.
is the other one.
Matron's the one I saw. Oh, I
Arc
see. I don't know.
Lightning.
No, that is the 5th place one, so you're getting closer.
I'm pulling up the set list.
I am going to call it there. It is Raze, R-A-Z-E. A
Is it
1
destroy a
mana
land or
red
something?
sorcery. Sack a land, destroy a land for 1 mana red sorcery. Very cute with certain lands like Flagstones of
Earthbound.
Trocaire. Or Earthbound nonsense, or Earthbinding, Earthbending, whatever you want to call it.
It's also good with the Edge of Eternity's Commander card. That's a land that when it dies, you make 1/1 for each time you've tapped it.
Oh, yeah. For sure.
Card name, can't remember it. That's okay. It's fine. We got it. We lost it.
But, yeah, this blows up any land, including basics, if you want to be that person. And it's like 58 cents TCG market. You can buy list them. They're probably not going to be near mint when you pull them out of bulk, but you should not pull them, or you should pull them out of bulk along with your Goblin Matrons, and then throw every other red common in that set into the garbage.
All right, I will hop in next here. I am bringing to you a much newer card because that's generally what I do. Because you all have some crazy ones.
Crazy
I have
ones, he says.
Yeah. I've got a. This is very gettable. Bloomborough colorless uncommon.
Patchwork Banner.
It is Patchwork Banner. So for those who don't know, Patchwork Banner is actually the most expensive uncommon in the set.
Ring. Oh, is that Corbin? Yeah, I'm on the phone with you right now. Yeah, you phoned it in. Good job. You phoned it in.
I let Leo
Did
pick that
phone
one.
it in.
I let Leo pick that one. I actually had a much trickier one planned originally. I was going to say the basic land cycle of Phyrexian lands from Phyrexia will be one, because it is pretty easy to just see basic full art lands and assume that they're all worth nothing these days. And most of them are basically in that whatever 50 cents range, but those are all worth $1.
There are certain ones that are worth money, yes. The Neon Dynasty Japanese lands are good. The Dominaria Stained Glass are good. The Theros Beyond Death Pokemon lands are good.
Yeah.
Streets of New Capenna bad. Brothers War bad.
I hope Dustborn become worth something. I love those.
Bloomborough, I believe, has full art lands.
Yes.
They're pretty cute. They're seasonal, right?
Yes.
They're doing that
Yeah,
again with Hobbit. Maybe the basic lands will touch tips and get better.
Well, I mean, maybe the basic
Cut that,
lands...
JJ.
Maybe the basic lands from the original Lord of the Rings are going to go up in price. The map ones.
There's a lot of those out there.
Are there? I bought the coasters with that art on them, with those maps on them from the MagicCon back then. We still use them in my house. It's pretty cool.
Those are better coasters than basic lands, I would say.
Yes.
Right, speaking of seasonal things, I found a new seasonal Brainstorm Brewery game mode from the fans of, like, you heard they're rebooting League of Legends, just like the original League of Legends with the
League of
original
Legends
40
classic,
champions one.
baby.
It's crazy to me. But I dredged up a new game, new asterisk, because I stole this blatantly from another content creator because I thought it was cute. All of us are Magic players. And some of us play other card games. Liz is very good at Riftbound. I am an ex-Yu-Gi-Oh veteran. Corbin, big fan of the Penguin game. I forget what it's called. The Vibes game.
Vibes.
Actually, I got a Naruto box in the mail. I'm a Naruto TCG main now. I'm an influencer. They sent me an influencer box. Check out Naruto TCG.
That's so
Corbin.
good for you, Corbin.
Corbin.
Came from France.
New game. Screw whatever game I was doing. New game. Corbin, what are the 3 levels of ninja you can be?
I believe there was a red, a green, and a yellow ninja.
Shippuden, Gaiden, and I don't have a third one. I don't know any other ninja media.
Is it? I've seen 3 ninjas and 3 ninjas strike back.
Corbin, the answer I was looking for was Genin, Chunin, and Jonin. Your influencer tag has been revoked and burned.
Huh. Go Naruto! All right, let's hear this game,
You're a real
DJ.
ninja fan? Name 3 songs. Okay. So the game I came up with, and by came up with I mean found, is we are going to name some cards from other games, and then we are going to guess whether or not those cards are good or bad, only using the context clues from the game that we do know. So I pulled some Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
Bust or banger, as they say.
Sure.
Is it a bust? Is it a banger?
That's a little close to the presumably not trademarked name that I found when I was looking for the game.
Oh, dang it. I was so clever. Dang it.
First up, we have, I'm going to put it in the voice text channel here. For our game, Bust or Banger, we have Premonition, which costs 2 and 3 blue power. It's a reaction. You play it anytime, even before spells and abilities resolve, and it says draw 3.
So does that mean it has like split second? Like they can't respond? Does that mean they can't respond to it?
No, it means that there's instants, which are actions which can only be played in combat, and then reactions can be played anytime you have priority. So these are proper instants.
Okay, and the 3 blue ones is the ones you tuck, right? I have played 2 games of Riftbound ever, so that is my understanding of the. And the 3 is the one you like set yourself back 1.5 turns effectively.
And it costs 2 energy, so 2 tap and then 3 tuck to draw.
So do we think that drawing cards in Riftbound is that powerful of a resource?
I am leaning towards this card being very good. I understand you get 2 resources per turn, and I feel like there are going to be other cards you want to chain with this later in the game that like cost more mana and fewer tucks, or you can like chain this together at the end of it, like, or as like the start of a big combo turn. Like I'm gonna tuck all my lands and kill you this turn. This card has very powerful vibes. I don't recognize the art, which is a weakness for me because I played a lot of the Legends of Runeterra and love that game, miss it dearly. Rest in peace, my king. And so this art is entirely foreign to me, so I do get to look at it through a neutral lens and not coded by my prior Riot card game preferences. But I am leaning towards this card being a banger. This card seems very strong to me. I don't think you want to play it early because that's like a really big tempo setback, but I feel like once you get to like turn 4 or 5, this card just like goes off.
Sure. Corbin, what's your official selection?
I think this card is good just because like it's Ancestral Recall.
Sure.
Well, so is Ideas Unbound.
I understand.
Do I reveal whether it's a bust or a banger now?
Yes.
This card is a bust. This card saw 0 tournament play. It's not even the best card draw spell in the set it was from. Sacrificing 3 lands is a colossal cost. Like DJ said, you can only play this in the late game, and even then, drawing cards in the late game isn't nearly as relevant because trading resources early is the thing that matters.
I see.
Riftbound games don't go nearly as long as you think.
What is the better version of this from the same set?
It cost 0 energy and 1 purple power. It was sleight of hand, and you can copy it for a 2nd purple power.
I am familiar with that one. I am familiar with that one.
That one's called Shot. It's maybe the strongest card in any card game I've ever played.
Oh, I've heard of that one. Yeah.
It's double sleight of hand for 0 mana, tuck 2 lands.
Okay, what's next?
Next
We're 0 for 1.
We have Scuttle Crab. For those at home, Scuttle
I
Crab
love me a Scuttle Crab.
2 energy for a 0 might unit. So notably in Riftbound, 0 might units don't die automatically, but the moment they take any damage, they do.
Okay.
Units with 0 might can conquer and hold. When you play me, draw 1. Death Knell, choose an opponent, they reveal their hand, you may look at their face down cards this turn, you gain 1 experience point.
This card has to be good.
What is an XP?
Experience points are kind of like energy. It's a parasitic mechanic. A couple of legends care about it. Like the Master Yi says when you get to 6 experience, all your guys get +1 might. When you get to 11 experience, they have haste and hexproof.
I see. So that is not the victory points you need.
So it's an XP counter like in Magic.
Yes.
And can they get rid of your experience counters?
They can't get rid of your experience counters. However, there are some legends that like Kha'Zix taps to spend an experience to buff a unit, basically. So it's
I bet this card is an engine piece in a deck, right? Like it feels like a card that just it does everything you want, right? It draws it. I don't know if blocking's a thing in this game, but when this card dies, you get a positive effect that can't be interacted with. It feels like you said this thing costs 2 energy or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Is that what the 2 is? It feels like you could play this card very early to just kind of
You
grease the
do get
wheels
to play
onto
it
the way the
turn
end game.
1. If you're going second, I think it's like because if you go first, you get 1 land, and then second is 2. Is that right? No.
If you go first, you get 2. You go second, you get 3.
Okay.
I'm on this card being good.
Corbin said it's a banger.
And death now is when it dies, you get the information.
Yes. Yep.
I also think this card is a banger. I think this card feels like a role player where it just slices. It does a lot of things, and it doesn't like win the game, but it like you get it on the board. And you're just like it's your ponder, it's your preordain, it's your like information, and I feel like the XP is marginal, but maybe the XP is good.
Yeah.
I'm locking in.
This card, banger, top to bottom.
Yeah.
It's Gataxian Probe that can score points.
Yeah.
ETB draw card, very good in this game. Getting it immediately, super nice. And again, the fact that it's effectively a 1-drop that can score, like, it does damage, quote unquote, despite not having any power. It just doesn't really defend.
Are there creatures that cost tucking? There are, right? Like, there are creatures that cost tucking.
Yeah.
Like lands? Okay, yeah, that's what I thought.
In fact, actually, we're going to talk about one of them right now. We're going to talk about the creature Stealthy Pursuer, who costs 4 energy and a purple purple power, for a 4 might unit. When a friendly unit moves from my location, I may be moved with it.
Okay, now I get nerfed because this card reads as something different to me because of the art. Like, this card is a 3-mana 3/3 in Runeterra that summons a, like, treasure hoard, I think? It's been a minute.
That doesn't help me.
But that doesn't help me either. So when a friendly unit... What is the normal cost of moving something?
Tapping it, basically.
And does this tap when it gets moved for free?
No.
So it's an extra action.
Kind of, yeah. Like, if you have, like, this tapped at a battlefield or something and another guy there, you can move the other guy back and this goes with it.
I don't think this is very good because the stats are, like... I feel like 4 for 4 is, like, not... I feel like you don't want to spend 4 mana for this just to have it, like, move around with something else. That does not feel like part of a larger game plan to me.
Doesn't have enough words.
That's a bad logic to get yourself into.
I know. Well, my logic on
Ancestral Pot of Greed says draw 2 cards, my guy.
I
like
know.
that.
My logic on the premonition is that was a sick piece of art and it wouldn't be on a bad card. Whereas this is a very generic piece of art and frame. So I'm going to go with...
Well, it is literally reused art. I will remind you that.
This is a common. Yeah. This card is a common.
I'm going with bust.
I want to find a place where Corbin and I disagree, but we have not found it yet. Bust.
Okay. This card is kind of both, but we're officially calling it a banger.
Damn it.
This card was unplayable, and still kind of is unplayable, until the next set releases. Because there was no purple and yellow legend. Now there's purple yellow legend. This card, plus the equipment I just linked, Eye of the Herald, which is a 1-mana gear, gives +0 might when I move, play a 1 might unit to a token here. That plus a way to have your tokens enter ready makes infinite tokens. And today, the lead dev for Riftbound made an announcement about a preemptive ban happening for this card. Because they don't want there to be an infinite combo in Standard.
Okay.
So this card,
sure.
Former bust, current banger. Listen, I had to trick you a
I
little
get
bit
half
there.
a point.
Yeah, I think we take a W there.
Corbin and I can split the point in our little Oliver Twist soup bowls.
We correctly deduced what was going on there. A scrap heap.
This card is a 2 energy gear, so an artifact. When this is played, discarded, or killed, draw 1.
There's gotta be faithless looting bullshit going on. Like, there's gotta be some way to...
Or they made this card, but faithless looting isn't good right now. It's gotta be good, though. Yeah, I tend to agree. But...
Or it's bad right now, but there's a card coming out 6 sets from now. That means it's a banger.
I mean, look,
Listen,
obviously
the only
this
reason I
has
did that one is because they mentioned it by name in the pre-ban announcement, okay? That's the only reason I did it, DJ. Off.
I think Scrap Heap has to be combo-y, right? With the discard.
I'm gonna disagree with you. I think that there are not enough cards to make this a banger yet.
That's DJ saying bust. Corbin
I
saying
want to
banger?
plant my feet down
I
and
think
say
so.
that this card is not good enough yet, but it will be eventually.
I'm gonna say this is like the Narcomoebas of the world.
So Corbin gets the point here. This card's banned in Standard.
Oh shit!
You were using it with cards that say destroyer and artifact get a benefit, or with the Legend Ezreal, who the champion unit says ETB discard a card, draw 2. So every game you had a 3-mana 3/3 that discarded a card to draw 3 cards.
I see. Yeah, well, that does seem like the kind
I
of
feel
way
like
it would be
I
broken.
remember, now that you mentioned it, I remember hearing about this card being banned.
Yeah. There's
I'll
a
be
card
honest,
called-
sometimes these card names, I get them mixed up with hearing about broken old Fab cards. You could have told me Scrap Heap was banned in Flesh and Blood, and I would have believed you.
You also played it with a card called Detonate, which is 1 mana and a power, destroy a gear, its controller draws 2 cards, so your controller draws 3 cards.
All right, we got one more chance. We are Corbin's
1.5 to
2.5
1.5.
and 1, and I am 1.5 out of 4. So I need this to get a...
We have Fresh Beans.
What a
2 mana artifact. When you play a unit during a showdown, you may exhaust this to draw 1.
The Beanstalk
showdowns
player
are-
would show us this card.
Showdowns are combats.
I didn't know
Really
you were
playing
playing
unit.
beans in every game, Liz, not just every format.
Listen, I love the beans. What can I say?
All right, DJ, what do you think?
When you play a unit during a so when you play a spell with flash, is that
A
basically
creature with flash, yeah.
you
During
may
combat.
and this does nothing else. It's just you pay 2 mana to have it sit there, and eventually it recycles itself.
It doesn't recycle itself. It just taps itself. To
Oh,
draw
it taps to okay. Exhaust is
So it can be
okay.
It's
repeatable.
repeatable. And it's effectively a 1-drop, again, as I said.
I'm still going bust.
I think this card's very good.
If the
Maybe-
beans are good and I haven't heard enough memes about the beans, then we're going to have to correct this.
I think this card's very good. It seems engine-y, but it's okay. I'm gonna metagame here. She has shown us 1 bad, 1 good, 1 good, 1 bad. Okay, so
How did that help, DJ?
I think this card's good.
I'm going bust.
We got a bust and we got a banger, and it is a bust. DJ, you got trounced.
You had just a little too much knowledge, DJ. I had no knowledge at all of this game.
Fresh Beans, it draws you like 3 cards a game. You know what other card costs 2 mana and draws you 3 cards a game, but you get all the cards at once?
Banned
Combination.
shot. Oh.
Well, Called Shot lets you see 1/10 of your deck for no mana.
That's pretty good, yeah.
Anytime you want.
It's kind of, yeah. It's
Yeah,
kind
but
of
this
like
is
how...
this doesn't tuck any of your lands, right?
It doesn't do anything.
But you do have to play a flash unit, and there's only so many of those. And I think this is a card that could be good someday.
Yeah, when it
But
gets
right
to
now,
deck.
there just aren't the tools for it. I
So
tried this card a lot.
JJ, don't release this until 2 years from now when there's all the good flash units.
Yeah.
Well, the game very much is setting the seeds for some of those future things, right? That's pretty cool. I actually think it's cool that, I mean, not that they had to ban it or whatever, but like it's probably kind of a good thing that the game is sort of naturally leading to these combinations, I think. Like it's good
It's
design.
a good thing for your game to have power 9 10 years from now.
Well, there's that too, I guess.
Yeah. They did announce that in like 2 or 3 years' time, the first big standard rotation is going to happen, and they're going to create their first Eternal format, which means you'll be able to play with Called Shot and Scrap Heap again someday.
Buy them up now.
Well, they're both commons, so maybe not. Or maybe?
You know what else is a common? Seething Song.
Seething
It's
Song
so expensive.
is so much money now. So this was banger or bust with the little trademark sign on it. We're taking that name. Next week we'll be back when Corbin is gone, and I will attempt to get my revenge with 5 Yu-Gi-Oh cards that I've already picked out from my era of Yu-Gi-Oh. Yu-Gi-Oh has many a history of like being a slow slug game to like a fast-paced Nitro game. I'm gonna pick cards from like my era, which is like 2007 to like 2012 or so. So like some good old-fashioned pre-modern era level Yu-Gi-Oh cards. to be
All
be a
judged.
good
new
one.
cards I know are from like the first 2 years of the game, so I'll be stumped. If it's not Jinzo, I don't know.
Yeah, like
Pot of Greed.
everyone's got anime level base knowledge of Yu-Gi-Oh.
Karibo,
Karibo, my goat.
Joey Wheeler.
Hey, Yug.
That does what it do, Yug.
Good game. Good set of cards. We'll bring that one
Non-binary
back.
Joey
That
Wheeler
was
be
fun.
like, my pronouns are they, them.
And it's time for Pick of the Week.
Pick of the week, pick of the week, pick of the week. Time for the pick of the week.
MTG Band, they are the sponsors of this podcast. We appreciate everything they do for us. We appreciate everything they do for all of their members. That's why they gave the 50 BSB code you can use to get a discount on your first month when you check it out. So please...
It's so awesome.
Okay. DJ, you jump in with more ad read.
I am using MTG Band right now to look at my pick of the week, but I also use it regularly, daily, question mark. I definitely use it daily. Anytime I'm working, I use Band for Magic card related things. I can upload collections to it. I can upload collections to it via Moxfield, Google Sheets, TCG Player Collection Tracker, Architect, any sort of data set you can just like plug URLs and it gives you all the data for an entire collection. It's crazy. I can use it to price sealed product. I can use it to look at the expected value of sealed product. There's lots of products out there where you can just crack it to make money, like the Dan deck, the Everyone's Invited deck, most of the Commander precons. But if you want to know exactly what the value is for your Commander secret layers, Ban has the tools. It also has a Discord server with lots of other vendors in it who are very smart. And you can use a promo code, and they just recently launched a website redesign that is successful and smooth and pretty optimized in my experience as a power user. I would describe myself as somebody who uses this several hours a day to do the thing. It does the thing very well. My pick of the week is Beseech the Mirror, specifically the extended art foil, which is the best version of the card. TCG low is $80, and Card Kingdom will pay you $96 for it. I was pricing this card for my show this weekend, and I was like on the fence about sending Card Kingdom my several copies. It's a CEDH staple. Not really a staple, but like it's a card that you can run in the format and like cast, and it's fine. It's a card that will consistently get better the more cards they print that cost 4 or less. Spoiler alert, they're gonna make more of those. They're also gonna make more tokens or enchant. What is bargain? It's like token, enchantment, or creature.
Token enchantment or artifact.
Token, enchantment, or artifact. They're gonna make more of those. Beseech the Mirror will continue to get better as time goes on, I think. It is just good tutoring, casting the card for free. Like, it kind of gets tripped up on cards that technically cost more than 4, so you can't cast your, like, Solitudes and that level of, like, free alternate spell nonsense, but, like, you know what? That's fine. I think that's fine. There's plenty of formats where you want to just pay 4 mana, slam down a near win condition, and if you want to pay 80 for this, I think this card in a year from now will be 150, and then we'll also get some other super crazy expensive version that is like a Fracture foil or a Halo foil or whatever, and that one will be 300. I don't think that makes this one worse, notably.
Agreed.
Mm-hmm. All right, I'll hop in next. I have just sort of a generic cycle of cards here. I've noticed a lot of the Marvel Superheroes Eternal Legal full art special type cards have actually climbed in price since the set release.
Yes.
So, for instance, a Borderless Show and Tell was as low as $2 2 weeks ago.
Tell.
Yeah. And I know this because I just bought some, and now they're $5. It is $5 for a Show and Tell. But they are not the only. Like, there's a number of cards. The Counterspell with Tony Stark on it, Iron Man on it. That's gone up from 5 to 10. So just kind of and I don't know as much about how rare they are, all of these things when it comes to like talking actual print run. But I can tell you that they've gone up in price. So if you're like, oh, I have plenty of time to get those, the set just came out, that's not necessarily how it works. So if you are someone who's a fan of that stuff, maybe sooner rather than later.
Sure.
Sure.
My pick of the week this week is sort of a breaking bulk of the week kind of thing. This card's very cheap, but has a little bit of buy list backing now. Recently saw a pretty strong uptick in play because of a new Marvel card. This is Divining Witch. It's Demonic Consultation on a stick. You can do it every turn if you want. It's notably a way to exile your entire library so that Doctor Doom Unrivaled can win the game for you. Card Kingdom will pay you TCG player low to the penny.
Yeah.
This card's really strong. Like, repeatable, a second copy even just of Demonic Consultation. In decks that care about removing the library from the game, huge. It also kind of is just a tutor. Like, in a pinch, you can find your specific answer. Card is like 45 cents. I don't know. It feels pretty low impact to just buy a bunch of these and stash them. It's also from Nemesis and the list.
Yeah, I don't disagree with any of that. This is the kind of card I would expect to be worth money. It's being the worst version of a really good card can still be a really good card. Sometimes it's not, but like, again, at $1, sure.
It's like Soul Warden. You just have a new Soul Warden when they print it. It's Soul's Attendant.
Yep.
I love this pick. This is a very me pick. I love it. Yep. Also, on MTG Band, Card Kingdom has a little star next to the name on the bio list. That means their number now is at the highest it has been in the past few months, which means that Card Kingdom algorithm has been noticing that they have been selling out of this card and needing more to keep in stock over the past few months. That is information that Band gives you that I don't think anyone else does.
Yeah, that's a good note for sure.
And that feature was just like added by the developer at a request, like after a few weeks. Like somebody said, hey, it'd be cool if this did this. And then the developer was just like, oh yeah, I can do that. And then added it. And there was
Sometimes
no
you
like...
don't realize the extent of enshittification until you deal with the opposite of it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And on that note, everybody, something that gets better every week, that would be the spreadsheets and our Discord, where we post our picks of the week and our breaking bulks as soon as we make them. So everyone who is a patron at patreon.com/BSB allows us to support our editors, hang out in Discord, have a great time. We really appreciate all of you for listening. And I think we've been on a little bit of a roll recently there, so go ahead and check out the Patreon if you get a chance. I dug out some flasks recently, so we might even have some giveaways coming up the end of the summer here, perhaps, kind of building up for that. So I think that maybe wraps it up for us this week. This was a great episode. Thank you everyone for hanging in there with the distractions from my kid. We'll see how much of that makes it through to the final show. But this was a great episode. I think we touched on some really good topics today. And excellent game.
I had a lot of fun guessing Riftbound cards.
That was
I
great.
look forward to guessing Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
We gotta do that more.